I'll just rewind and you can...
Oh, please don't jump on me. She'll just stab her first. Max, there's wasps next to me as well.
Oh, don't be chickening out now. Just give them the excuses.
We're Stephen and Mags, and together with our 3 kids, Louis, Neve and Oliver, we're starting out on the biggest adventure of our lives, swapping city life for an off-grid homestead. After years of dreaming about making a change, we sold our house in the UK, packed up all our belongings and made the 1,500-mile trip to southern Spain, with the hopes of creating the dream family home and a new life in the sun. Follow our story from the very beginning as we begin the journey of creating our off-grid home.
Well, it's the guys. So we've come to the garden centre today because we want to make a start on our little kitchen garden outside. So we're going to come, we're going to have a look at some plants, some like herbs, some flowers and see what they've got to offer. So this is one of the better garden centres that we found. It's got loads of tropical trees, it's got fruit trees, berry bushes, as well as flowers and herbs, and it's got a really good variety and it's always well stocked. So what did we get?
We're going to fit all that in because we've just bought all these. So we've got a mixture of herbs and plants and flowers, fruit trees. But look at the boots already because we've been to another garden centre before we come here. I think we got a bit over ambitious there, don't you?
Yeah, I definitely do. You could put them on the back.
Try the back seat, there's definitely not fitting in there. Okay, let's try.
I see how the spiky one's going behind my head.
Planned out.
Well, there we go, all in, packed to the rafters, literally.
Well, we're home, and this is what we come back with. We come back with some succulent plants that I plan on planting as ground cover because they grow really well and they're dead drought tolerant. And then we've got some strawberry plants, some mint, some flowers which we come back with: thyme, basil, parsley, oregano, if my memory serves me right. This is a raspberry, lavender. Come back with a few chili plants, which are there, and more flowers, chili plants, and then more flowers and herbs this side as well. What are these? Salvia, Centralina, and these grow big yellow flowers. So that's what we've come back with, and they're going to start our pots, our crates I should say, not even pots. We've got them, and then we've still got some lavender, rosemary, some trailing petunias. They're going to go in, and then we can put in place our fruit trees as well. So we've been doing some work since we come back already. We just forgot to pick up the camera. So there's the crates that we're planning on putting them in, all stacked up. There's some more around the corner as well. We have been doing work, we just forgot to film, like I said. Max is there scraping out the bits from underneath. But we started cleaning up this area, sorting out flags that were there, breeze blocks. The only problem we've got is that these are far too heavy to lift. They're much bigger than the other ones that we planted the other day, or not planted, put in place the other day up there. So we don't know how or if we're going to be able to lift them yet, or whether they're going to end up staying there in that place, but we'll see.
Playing with your new toy again, Steve?
Yeah, so we're using this because we don't want to put any weed killer on it. Because then we don't want the weed killer in the soil and all that to affect the boxes that we're going to plant with herbs and flowers. So we're using a weed burner, which is pretty good at getting rid of the stuff and quickly as well. We're going to rotate jobs, so filling wheelbarrows up and burning with the chemidora the weeds out, because it does need to go before we put anything on top of it. Even though we're going to cover it with some sort of ground cover, we don't want the weeds poking up underneath, do we?
No, we definitely don't.
So yeah, we want to take turns a piece of doing this, and
so Steve's doing that, and then I'm just going to take one of the wheelbarrows over, and then we'll swap again in a minute.
Well, we made a big mistake. We set the camera up ready to get to work, pressed the time-lapse button, and the time-lapse didn't work. So now we're jumping from having no raised bed to having a raised bed. It's already done, so I'm going to turn you around, show you what it looks like, and where we're up to. So we used the old roof beams that were in this position, but were far too heavy to lift, and we couldn't move them somewhere else, and there was 3 of them. So we put one at the bottom, and then one either side like this, and then filled it up with a mixture of the goat manure that we've got, compost and soil. Put some plant feed in there as well, and then we got given some aloe vera plants by our friend Laddie and Pauline, so we've got more of them as well, but we've put them in. We've got some oregano in there underneath the bottles that you can see. We're using them as like little mini greenhouses, some lavender, and then some succulent plants, and I think it looks all right. It's filled the space, it looks cleaner. Now what we've been working on while we had the time-lapse set up was starting to line the area with cardboard, and then we're going to cover this over with hay and straw, well, one that's got no seeds in, hopefully, and then we can start getting all of the, I keep forgetting the word for these, all the crates set up and in position so that we can start planting in them. Well, this is where we got up to so far. We've covered most of the floor in cardboard and used a lot of that pile of flags to put in this crazy paving pathway going through the middle. We've got some sand that we're going to fill in through the middle of it all to make it a bit more level once it's done, and then the rest of it will be covered with some hay just to keep the weeds down. We also use some of the bricks to create another little raised planter over this side, and that just needs filling up. So before we finish and before we lose the light, because the sun is starting to set, I'm going to go and get another couple of wheelbarrows of compost and manure and fill that little planter up there ready to go. Last one.
You said that about the other side?
And every time I think it's the last one, I need one more. I'm going to have to fix them because they're moving apart. And then just some compost on top in here. We can. Have to do. We're back. It's been a couple of days, so we've had work days in between, and now we're back working on the garden. I'll show you where we got up to the other day, and then what our plans are for finishing off for the rest of this video. This is how it's looking so far. So, off camera, let me turn around because that light's a bit bad, isn't it? So off camera we've got this far. So it's planted up in the borders. We've started lining some of these. Now we've done a lot of research as to what to line them with, whether we should do it with weed membrane, whether we should do it with cardboard. One, we simply haven't got enough cardboard to do it because we need the cardboard for the floor. Two, the weed membrane that is available where we live is really expensive. So to buy it would cost a fortune, and the whole point of using these crates and doing it like this was to save a bit of money. So we've seen some other people who've used these. There's plenty, they're lined with bin bags basically, and there's loads of holes at the bottom, and obviously the bottom of the crate has got loads of holes in too, so drainage shouldn't be an issue, we're hoping. There's holes around the side and holes in the bottom, so we're going to try it as an experiment and see if it works. But not final design as yet, but you can see we can have some beds like this all around the fruit trees like we've got there. There was a question on the last one about what we're going to put under the flags and how we're going to secure them. We're not, and simply because one, they're not ours, and two, we need it to be temporary so that we can put it back when we leave this place and eventually buy our own. So we've got some sand that we're planning on putting down, which then can be raked up and put away afterwards and tidied away once we leave, just to make them more level and more stable. But otherwise, this is pretty much how it's going to stay, and we're only using it as a stepping stone to be able to walk through, just so that we're not walking on the mud all the time as we're walking in and out. There'd be really no need to bring a wheelbarrow through here or anything like that, so it doesn't need to be particularly level or close together, just to look a bit nicer than it did before. So that's where we're up to. Mags has had the ingenious idea. She's just on the way out now to fill them up with these bin bags. And we've got... How many have you got left, Mags?
18.
We've got 18 left to do. So we've got some shallower ones, which are these. And then we've got some of the full-size crates, which are there. But there's 18 left to do. So we're going to crack on with doing them. We've also got some plants to put in, some of them. We're not going to fill them all up today. We've ordered some more stuff for making composts. We've got these already. We've got some separate pot and compost, and then we've got compost that we're planning on mixing to be able to fill them boxes up with. We bought a lemon tree, so we've got two cherry.
Two cherry, 2 pears and a lemon.
2 cherry, 2 pear and 1 lemon. For now, and we will build on that, but that's the lemon tree. And then around this side again, we've had really bad frost the last few days. We've still got 2 trees here that we need to put out, and then we've got flowers and a different range of herbs and stuff there that we're going to put in. So should we crack on?
Yeah.
Start lining the rest of them and then come up with a design for the bottom.
Yeah.
We've also just been out as well because we need to cover the floor. I'm dreading this a little bit, but we did use straw. Now in Spain, I know in other places you can buy straw and you can buy hay. Here they sell straw, but the straw doesn't necessarily mean it's not going to have any seeds in it. And we found that out the hard way, because in the garden area, which is behind the washing over there, we put straw down all around the plants to try and act as like a mulch to keep some moisture in, etc. And it all sprouted. And we ended up spending the whole time between Christmas and New Year weeding and taking all of that out, just because it was creating more work than it was worth. However, in our barn, which is behind us over there, there are 2 bales of hay, straw, which have been sat there for a couple of years. So I'm expecting them not to sprout like the last bit did. They've turned a different colour than the last ones we had were, but we need to go and get them. The only problem is that both me and Mags are frightened of spiders, aren't we?
Yes.
I mean, how stupid is this? You live on a farm and you're frightened of spiders. But both of us are frightened of spiders. And there are massive spider webs and all sorts in there. So I'm dreading it, but we're going to go and try and get them. I might get Max to film me and try not to scream while we're doing it. Should we go and get them? I might have to stab them with a fork or something first, make sure there's no rats or something living in it as well. But yeah, we're going to go and get them and see if we can rescue them from the barn. We've got the fork. Max has just said to me, oh, you could use the fork to stab it and pick it up with. Yeah, I'm not touching it. Don't know what's going to crawl on me. And that's the thing, living around here, there could be a snake in it, there could be a rat in it, there could be spiders in it, couldn't there?
I think it's time. I reckon see if the spider or the rat.
Okay, let's put a light on first, Max. Not that that made very much difference at all. So, yeah. If I were to crawl under that.
No, you might have to put your hand over though.
Oh, that's that one there. Take that out. Oh.
No.
Yeah. So, it's another up there. Oh my god. I mean, we have already found rats and stuff in here anyway, haven't we?
Yeah, but never a live one.
No, never a live one. I mean, just come in and look at the size of these spiderwebs.
This just so I have to come in too.
Yeah, if it jumps on me, you're getting it as well. Look at them.
Prehistoric things, these.
Like, look at the size of them compared to the fork. I mean, I suppose they've been in here since there was actual goats living in here as well.
Yeah, hang on. Just let's get out first.
Oh, you're getting out and I get stuff.
Yeah. I'll just rewind and you can...
Oh, please don't jump on me. She'll just stab it first. Max, there's wasps next to this as well.
Oh, don't be chickening out now. Just giving the
These
excuses.
aren't wrapped either, you know. If I ban this is all going to fall apart.
No, well, don't do that then. Let's put the tarp on the floor maybe and just push it into it.
Nothing's jumped out.
Stay. Leave it, lad. Let's do plan B.
Okay, plan B. Let's get the wheelbarrow. Yeah.
Tarp on the floor, I think.
The wheelbarrow?
No, it'll still fall. Tarp on the floor. Pick it up all together.
Okay, right. Pause, we'll be back.
So as they say in the business, take two. Now you don't even have to touch your steak and just hit it from afar. Nope, it goes in there.
Just want to mummy to know, so I was going to jump and move tarp and I'll have to carry that out as well. Okay.
Shall we just do one at a time for now?
Yeah. Oh, look at the lizard. Do you see it?
No.
Big, massive lizard run up the wall. But that wasn't spider anyway.
I'm not afraid of lizards, so that's okay. Although you do know you just got it up out of bed.
No. Okay. Well, that was uneventful. Not living in there, which is good.
So now just time to carry it out. But we can't do that holding the camera, so we'll pick it up outside. So we've got the hay here now, and we're just going to get to work.
So as you can see, we are making progress. It's starting to look a bit like a little farm garden. I think the cover with the straw, I know it won't last forever, but it does make a difference in hiding the stuff that's underneath, the rubble and all the rest of it. Makes it look a little bit cleaner. Mike has just brought over another wheelbarrow of sand to try and cover the rest of the stones that we put in. And then obviously we've got all the boxes to plant up. But starting to get there, I think it's looking good. So I'm not quite sure where we got up to with the other filming because the battery went on the other camera. But this is where we're up to. We've stopped here because we've run out of cardboard for now. But I think it looks really good. I think it's turning to look like a garden. I think the raised beds look okay. Obviously they still need planting up, but we need to make a compost mix to be able to fill them up and then put the plants in that we've got. But it looks better than it did before. We've got a lemon tree, 2 pear trees, 2 cherry trees. In the bottom, as you know from previous videos, there's bulbs that are due to come up and flowers in there. So it should turn into a nice little colourful garden full of vegetables and flowers. Attract all your bees, Mags.
Yeah, little kitchen garden.
Yeah, a little kitchen garden. So the last thing I want to show before we finish for today is our seedlings that we had. They're starting to sprout, which we're quite pleased with. And I'll just open up. So this is our makeshift greenhouse that we've got for now until the greenhouse that we've ordered comes. Don't mind Libby in the background, he's going off for a ride on his bike. But let's show you what we've got on there. Look at them. They're starting to sprout. So these are all English wallflowers, which we absolutely love. My mum grows loads of them in her garden and they smell lovely. They come out with loads of different colour. So they've been the first ones to pop up in there. On the tray below, look at them all sprouting. So we've got purple broccoli, spinach, normal broccoli that have come up so far. In the end, we've got peas that are coming up on the end row. And that's all that's come up for now. We're keeping them watered. They are staying nice and warm even though we've had freezing temperatures. Obviously not staying warm through the night. And at the bottom we've got leeks which are growing. They seem to be faring better in this than the leeks that are outside. And then in the very top, as you can see, if I can get the camera in there, this box will be radishes, but they haven't sprouted yet. It has been really cold, so I'm not expecting them to just yet. But I'm quite pleased. Every little seed, so you can see in them, there's like 3 or 4 in some little cells. So eventually we'll have to split them and put them in other ones. But I'm really pleased that every single seed that we put in seems to have germinated. And they'll look lovely in the garden, again for attracting bees, etc. So, that's them.
So that's where we're going to leave it for today. Keep following along. I hope you like our progress so far. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And we'll see you on the next one. Hasta luego.